Hey guys, what's up? This is Dingocrikey here with another commentary video. This time I'm going to be discussing a topic relating to Transformers 5. If you guys are interested in more news and commentary on Transformers 5, the upcoming Transformers Robots in Disguise cartoon, or general Transformers discussion topics, then check out my playlist and channel where I also have over 20 Transformers stop motion videos, some of which are previewed here. But for this video, I'm going to be discussing a theory on how Nemesis Prime could appear in Transformers 5. This was a viewer-requested topic by user Diana Tash, so I wanted to give thanks to that user because I think this is a really good topic idea for a video. With a lot of speculation still going around about the characters that will appear in Transformers 5, basically due to the fact that there isn't much information released on the film, and because TF4 left a lot of possibilities open, Nemesis Prime as a character probably comes to a lot of people's minds when the topic of characters in TF5 comes up. Also, due to the nature of the character and his small but very significant and memorable appearances throughout Transformers media, I thought it would be fitting to dedicate an entire video to Nemesis Prime's appearance in TF5. So, with that in mind, let's get started. Altogether, I think that there is a fairly good chance we could actually see Nemesis Prime appear in Transformers 5. You know, it still is really early on, it's all just speculation, but as mentioned, he is a pretty significant character in Transformers media. Ever since Black Convoy or Scourge was introduced in the 2001 Robots in Disguise cartoon, and became even more notable after appearing in Transformers Armada episode 43, Puppet, with the name Nemesis Prime, as he wasn't previously referred to in that way. We've also seen numerous Nemesis Prime figures released since then. I mean, most of them are Takara exclusive, but Hasbro has released a few throughout the years. I mean, still, overall, the concept of Nemesis Prime is pretty cool, though he often has different origins from series to series. Still, a character who is basically Optimus Prime minus any noble or good qualities is a pretty cool concept. With 6 live-action Transformers films, it would be a real shame if fans didn't get to see Nemesis Prime even make a cameo appearance. But I think there is a pretty good chance he'll appear in 5 or 6. I think it's something that the makers of the film may actually be interested in, as it could really set up a theme for the film and differentiate it from the others, sort of like TF4 had the Dinobots. And of course, Nemesis Prime is a really cool character. Considering Optimus Prime in the films is, unfortunately in my opinion, more vicious than he is in any of the series Nemesis Prime would be an utter monster on the screen. I mean, he could be really cool to watch. Also, a Nemesis Prime versus Optimus Prime battle would be pretty brutal and an awesome action sequence, and we know the way these movies are with action sequences. So altogether, I think that there is a pretty good chance he will appear in one of the next 2 films, but how would they introduce his character? I mean, even though these films do random stuff sometimes, I don't think Nemesis Prime is a character who can just come out of nowhere, you know, like some of the other Decepticons and Autobot characters have. I mean, a character as significant as Nemesis Prime needs at least a little bit of background. He at least needs some significance. You know, some people may argue that there is a chance that the humans will use the KSI technology to build their own Optimus Prime, and the result, of course, would be Nemesis Prime. However, I find this to be very unlikely. It would basically be the same kind of thing we've seen in Transformers 4. We've already seen the humans building their own Transformers to combat the Autobots, and we've also seen them trying to replicate Optimus Prime with Galvatron. So even if the humans were trying to create Optimus Prime for good intentions, because Optimus is gone and they need a new leader for the Autobots, even though that sounds really weird, you know, the way these movies are, I mean, you still run into the problem that this creation of the humans that's supposed to be good turns out to be evil, just like what happened with Galvatron. So, personally, I really wouldn't want to see the creators of the film go this direction, and I don't find it very probable. I think it's a lot more likely that we would see the creators, who are very possibly the Quintessons, having something to do with Nemesis Prime's origin. If the film is going to have Nemesis Prime, I could see it doing something like this. Basically, we're given the idea that between Transformers 4 and Transformers 5, there was somewhat of a time skip, maybe a year and a half, few months, something like that. And basically, within that time, Optimus Prime has still not returned to the Autobots. Maybe some new Autobot characters have shown up, but Optimus still isn't back. And then at some point in the film, probably towards the beginning, we have someone show up who appears to be Optimus Prime. And he probably acts a little bit weird, looks a little bit different. But eventually the Autobots kind of just go along with it, and they think he's Optimus. And they probably even get into a battle with Galvatron and whatever new minions he has. And Optimus Prime, or who they think is Optimus Prime, appears to be unusually strong and even more ruthless than Optimus usually is. But then it's not too long before we find out that this, in fact, is not Optimus Prime, but instead is Nemesis Prime. At which point he probably betrays the Autobots, kills one of the Autobot characters, and something like that. But I don't see him exactly joining up with the Decepticons, because if he is a spawn of the creators, that wouldn't really make sense, because we see Lockdown didn't have any allegiance to them, so I don't think Mrs. Prime would either. So basically, I think the implication would be given that in between Transformers 4 and 5, Optimus Prime did meet with the creators, or their minions, or something like that, and they ended up capturing Optimus Prime or stealing something from him, possibly the Matrix, and they used that material to make a clone of Optimus, which is Nemesis Prime, and then they send him to Earth. Now, I don't really have much of an idea of why they would be sending Nemesis Prime to Earth, but I'm sure they would come up with some reason in the movie. I mean, it would be cool to see a lot more of the events take place in space or on another planet, but I just don't think it's that likely, so I do think if Nemesis Prime appears in the film, he will be showing up on Earth at some point. And whether Optimus Prime was captured by the creators, and that's what led them to be able to make Nemesis Prime, or whether he's just stranded in space somewhere, I do think at a certain point in the movie, after Nemesis Prime has betrayed the rest of the Autobots, Optimus is going to return to Earth to basically put a stop to Nemesis Prime's efforts, along with Galvatron's. Probably have sort of a three-way battle like we've seen in Dark of the Moon with Sentinel, Megatron, and Optimus. But maybe even having Galvatron and Optimus at a certain point in the fight team up, because Nemesis Prime's too powerful for them to stop alone. And basically, by the end of the film, Nemesis Prime would be killed off, hence leaving time to deal with the rest of the events in the film and lead up to Transformers 6. So that is a very rough theory. It doesn't really account for a lot of the other things that would be going on in the film, but I could see that happening. I mean, it doesn't really line up with any of the Nemesis Prime origin stories from past Transformers series. Maybe a little bit of what happened in Armada and Prime, but I could still see it being something like that. It would definitely change the dynamics of a lot of my other predictions about the film, but these are just all different theories. I mean, just because I make one theory doesn't mean it has to necessarily be true. I mean, there's lots of different possibilities about what the film could be like. I mean, all of these predictions could be totally off. The creators could be totally new characters. The Dinobots might never even be in the film, and Nemesis Prime might never show up. Who knows? Maybe we'll just have a lot more time with the humans. But personally, among a lot of the other possibilities for the film, I wouldn't mind seeing something like this happen. I think if done properly, it could be used as a way to further develop Optimus Prime's character, which isn't something we really get to see a lot of in the films. But considering that Michael Bay is very possibly stepping down from job as director, then, maybe we could see some different story arcs and more focus on Transformer character development. I mean, if Nemesis Prime is some enhanced clone of Optimus, Optimus might be faced with some of his darker traits, such as the fact that he's willing to turn against humanity, or maybe that he's just so vicious in the films. I mean, we see a lot of that as it is. But anyways, that's all I have to say about this one. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you want to see Nemesis Prime in Transformers 5? Maybe you think it's a boring idea and would rather other storylines be pursued in the film. Do you think it's even possible that they would choose to use Nemesis Prime in the remaining Transformer films? Leave your thoughts below, along with any topic suggestions you might have. Like I said, this was a suggested topic, and I think it was a really good one, so I definitely do get to looking at them, and I really, really appreciate the topics you guys give. Anyways, that's all I have to say for this one. If you guys are interested in more Transformers commentary, then please check out some of my previous Transformers commentary videos. And if you're interested in Transformers stop motion, you could go to my channel. Like I said, I have over 20 of them there. That's all for now. Stay tuned for more Transformers commentary videos. Thanks for watching, and have a good one, guys.